Game week. All right, finally, our guys are incredibly excited and have put in a ton of work to get us to this point. And you can feel the energy and the intent and the focus inside our walls right now. So couldn't be more excited for it to be our first one. And it'll be a great week. We got a lot of work to do. We've gotten a lot done, but we're excited about getting going. So with that, we'll open it up.
Coach, just kind of perusing through the depth chart, it looks like a couple of prominent names are missing. Kelly Akari, Corey Ellington, Jeff Pittman not listed.
Yeah, with those three guys, I'll start with Kelly and Corey. Both those guys, man, have been dinged up, fighting some things through fall camp, so they won't be available this week. We'll continue to look at their situation as we get into the season. Hopefully, get those guys back sooner than later. Pitt is actually a guy that's no longer with us right now, so won't get into the details of that internal matter. But those are those three guys, and why you don't see them on the depth chart.
Coach, will you have captains for the season, or will it be an individual game?
Yeah, there'll be individual games. So we'll actually announce that every Friday. We'll put that out on social every single Friday.
Coach, Kevon Lee listed as a starting running back.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what impressed you about him.
His consistency, what he's done for himself and for us as we've gotten to this point, has been a guy that's had great consistency. He really has. So he's played with really good toughness. He's an older guy and a guy that we're going to go count on. Vaughn is another guy listed as Orr. He's going to play a ton for us and going to have a great season. Our hope is for him to have a great season as well, with Johnny getting a lot of action as well. So feel good about those three guys. I think we are much, much, much improved from the spring to right now at that position, which is good.
You mentioned Kelly Akari being dinged up. How concerned are you with regards to the injury? And is this kind of something that's precautionary, just kind of holding him out just to make sure that he's fine? Or
Yeah, I won't get too much into it, but Kelly's a guy that, again, he's had all this production. He's played a lot of ball. He's played a lot of snaps, so concerned from that standpoint. We've got some young guys in the room. I've talked about them through fall camp that got a chance to be really, really good players. But, they just haven't lived it, haven't done it. Having Trent get here with us this summer was huge for us. That is a guy that's had a bunch of production, has played a lot of ball. So that's huge, him being here. He's had a really good fall camp. So we've got pieces in that room to be able to go play the way we need to, and then hopefully we'll get Kelly back as soon as possible.
As you get done with fall camp and get ready for the season opener, I guess from a position standpoint, which group or which side of the ball you think made the biggest improvement or had the biggest strides?
Yeah, I've talked about this a little through fall camp, but I think where we're at up front from an offensive line standpoint, where we were January 15th in comparison to where we are today, man, is just two completely different worlds. It's a credit to the guys in the room. Again, Cody's done a great job leading that group. And, I'm excited for them to be able to go out and play the way we need them to play, for us to do what we need to do. And we got to play winning football up front. And that's how this league is built, and we understand that, and I'm excited about that group.
Now that you've just gone through a full off season, the 8 months as a first-time head coach at this level, is there anything maybe you think you've learned personally about that process, or anything surprise you in that matter?
No, I think I've learned a ton. I'm hopefully going to continue to learn a ton as we go through it. I think, what you understand is being 7-8 months into this thing is still, regardless of what it is, it's still the first time doing it for the entire program. So going to the hotel on Friday night will be our first time doing that together and staying there. We try to replicate that by what we do in the mock game last week. But it's still going to be the first time we all get to go do it together. And so it's a bunch of firsts. I do love the fact that we've got so many guys that got here in January, and then a good group of guys that got here this summer, but they have bought into the connection piece of who we are. And I think that's probably been the most fun being the head coach right now, is making sure we've got a team and guys that, man, care about each other, love to go play the game, and going to represent state the right way on Saturdays.
When you got here, you had to kind of revamp the tight end room. How instrumental have the Ball brothers been in helping you do that?
It's been huge. For us, I talked a little bit about it, us up front, right, offensively, but the tight end position will forever be a huge piece of what we do, from a production standpoint, but also a scheme standpoint, and being able to create some different mismatches and be able to create a lot of different pictures. And so Sadhu's done an incredible job, but man, Justin Ball has had a great camp. Guy's going to play a ton of football for us. This is a big physical dude, loves to play ball, and another one that has played a lot of football. I can't say that enough. As we go into it year one, guys that have played a lot, we're going to lean on. And so they've both done a really good job. Cam might be as improved of a guy as we have inside our locker room from spring ball to right now. He's got to continue to strain and be physical every day, and he's a guy that I think's got a chance to have a really, really big future here.
Coach, obviously you inherited this schedule with an FCS opponent at week one. How do you kind of view that building cohesion? You got a lot of guys that hadn't played a game together before, but also maybe some younger guys would get some playing time later in the year. So how do you kind of manage that aspect of it?
Yeah, I think for us, and we talked about it this morning, our guys understanding this is the biggest game of the year because it's the next game, and how we're going to prepare and how we're going to operate. Man, it never needs to change. And when we talk about preparation and getting ready to play someone, that's got to be advantage us. What we do from Monday to Friday has to be advantage us, with the amount of time we spend in the building, to how we practice, all those things that give us confidence on Saturday are the reps throughout the week. So I think straining that, stressing that is huge, and hopefully we go put it on tape and put it on TV Saturday night the way we all think we will.
Coach, probably going to get a 2-quarterback look this weekend from a team that returns a lot of depth up front. Talk to me a little bit about what the scout process is and what that's been like trying to replicate in practice.
Yeah, with who they just named the starter, a guy that's a big pocket guy, threw for over 2,000 yards last year at Western Illinois, and a guy that's got really good accuracy. We're planning on seeing him more than anyone else as we get into it. I think there's a chance that we do see a couple of them, obviously, but as we look at it, it's going to be about finding ways to stop the run, not give up explosive plays, and create turnovers. And if we'll do those things, we're going to like the outcome of how we play defense.
What are some of your thoughts on the new rules in college football this year, particularly the headset communication, the in-game video stuff? What do you think that can add to not just your program, but college football as a whole?
No, I think it's really good. I think it's been great being able to use it all spring and then have it all fall camp so that we get used to it, so that Blake understands kind of the expectation between plays and understands the communication piece, along with Stone and Coleman on defense. So I love having the ability to communicate with the guys. I love the fact that we're, the in-game adjustments. Our guys are going to be able to see themselves in the moment, which I think is really, really good and gives you a chance, if you'll coach it the right way, to get things fixed and be able to get to some different things.
I guess this is kind of a follow-up question to our earlier question asked. I guess, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for your team this week that you're going to face against Eastern Kentucky?
Yeah, I want our guys, I think there's going to be a ton of emotion. I do. I don't think there's any doubt about it. You build up to this point, it being year one, it being season one, laying the foundation. Our guys are going to be incredibly excited to play. And so my hope for them, and we've talked a ton about it, but making sure we're not using energy on things that don't matter, and finding ways to make sure our energy is used in the way that's going to help us go win the football game and play the way we need to play.
Obviously, you weren't here last year, but, last year obviously didn't go the way that fans wanted it to go. So this year with the new head coach, a lot of them are, maybe expecting a retool or a rebuild-ish kind of year. What do you kind of think of potential expectations like that? And do you think that's, kind of fair expectations for a fan base to have?
No, I've talked a ton about this, but for us, we want to look up after the last week of the season, be ready to go to a bowl game, and we want to be trending up. I do. I think it's important that people say, man, Mississippi State's trending the right way. They got the right guy. They play with great energy and passion and toughness. They love playing for each other. And that's what I want people to be able to say about our football team and our program year one. I don't think there's a game total or a number that you put on that. Man, it's trending up. We're getting ready to go play a bowl game and win a bowl game.
A lot of schedules, I know, this week, meetings, all that kind of stuff, and your time sometimes isn't planned by yourself. But there will come a moment when Jeff Lebby gets a chance to be Jeff a little bit and think about how far you've come and what you've accomplished. And When that moment comes for you, kind of who and what will be on your mind?
Yeah, I think for me, one, our players, the players that have come before us, the coaches that have come before me, and understanding that I'm truly just a keeper of the room right now, and knowing that at some point in time, hopefully a long, long time from now, there's somebody else that's going to lead this program. And what I want to do is make sure that I'll leave it better than I found it, and fighting every single day to get that done and get that accomplished is my goal for our fan base, for our university, and everybody that I go to work with every single day. So I'm sure that point will come. Right now it seems a long way away, but I'm excited to be able to lead our football team down that tunnel Saturday evening.
You mentioned with Pittman being out, and obviously the SEC is a very physical league, and I know you like to play a variety of running backs. Is they kind of, I don't want to say use the word force, but get Xavier up to speed more? Does that kind of make that more urgent?
Yeah, you'll see Xavier at some point Saturday. He's done a really great job, man. He's a young, physical dude that loves to play the game. He plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. I think you guys have heard me say that with some of our guys. To me, that's a credit to who they are and how they're built. But Zay has done a great job. B. Will is another guy that has had a really good fall camp and done some good things for us on special teams. So from a depth standpoint, I think we're in a pretty good spot.
Jaworski Beckham's been such a big part of what you've been building around here. And just can you speak to your guys have bragged on him so much, and can you just speak to the results that he has gotten over the few months that y'all have been here, and just why that's such a big piece of what you want to do?
Yeah, bottom line, we're a faster football team than we were in January. And inside our league and the way we're going to play and what we're going to do, in all three phases, speed matters. I love what we're doing with the fast as hell, and our guys understanding, playing the game with great speed and aggression is going to be who we are. And I think having Jaws here and the development inside our speed program since January has been phenomenal, and our guys will continue to get better in that phase.
Anything else? John?
At that one linebacker battle between Jennings and Ty Cooper, can you kind of recap what you've seen from those two guys and what they both brought to the table?
Yeah, Ty Coop just brings great consistency and toughness and edge, and a guy that loves our university and loves, playing the game. B-Gen is a guy that's really, really talented. He's got really heavy hands, and he's a guy that's got a chance to be a really good player. You see some really great flashes from both of them, trying to create consistency nonstop. Both those guys are going to play a ton for us, and excited about being able to have two guys at that position that can go roll and be really fresh.
Coach, you talked about being excited to be here, but what has your experience in Starkville been like since you've been here over the last 8 or 9 months?
Yeah, it's been humbling. Hopefully everybody that has had the opportunity to come in contact with me or family knows how thankful we are to, one, have the opportunity, and two, has seen us try to connect. I think that's one of the coolest things about where we live and where I get to work every single day is there's this incredible amount of connection. There's an incredible amount of community. There's people that have great love for our university, and for me, that's fun to be a part of. So it's been humbling, and we're just getting started. I was messing with Brandon as we walked in here. Let's hope this is the first of a whole bunch of them. So excited to get going.
All right. Thanks, everyone.